안녕하세요, Gypsie예요. You're watching Broken Dolly TV, and it's me, Gypsy, once again. I have a little experiment to do with you guys today, and I want to swap bodies for a couple of my Ken dolls. I was able to acquire this guy. I had to pre-order him on Amazon because when I went to order him, they didn't have him in stock. So he finally came. We're gonna take him out of the box and do a little head swap, see who we have that matches him. So if you want to hang out with me while I do this, then let's do this. And the new people that are here, I don't know who you guys are. So drop a comment, let me know if you're new, and tell me what drew you to this channel, what made you subscribe. I want to know, whatever that is. I want to give you guys more content that is what y'all are needing in your life, okay? Just like you guys, I am also a fan of dolls and DollTube, and I watch other DollTubers as well, and I always find myself going, why don't they make a video about this? Why don't they talk about that? Why don't they discuss this? And when I have those moments, it's like ding, 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 well, I can just do that. So that's how I end up coming up with a lot of my ideas for videos. So if you guys have anything like that that you want me to cover and that you know, like, Gypsy's going to do it. Gypsy will talk about this and she'll give us the truth. Then have at it. Go ahead and drop it in the comments, you guys. I read all of the comments. If I'm not answering you guys back right away, like if you don't ask me a question, then I might not necessarily respond because I have so many comments and messages to get through. But if you are leaving suggestions, I'm paying attention, I'm listening, I'm writing them down so I don't forget, I'm screenshotting stuff. So don't be afraid to talk in the comments, y'all. I'm gonna have a few other tips and tricks for you guys in this video as well, so make sure you're paying attention because I don't want you to miss anything. I have a lot of dolly hacks that I have been working out while I've been on hiatus, and it's like so exciting because I'm like, oh my gosh, how did I not figure this out? Like, I figured out how to fix the neck peg, you know, the inside part. If you're doing head swaps and you accidentally pop it off or it breaks, I figured out how to fix that thing so you don't have to keep getting replacement bodies, or you're just stuck with messed up bodies and you can't do anything with it. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm so like excited to freaking tell you guys how to do that. Anyway, so let's get started. 짠, 짜자잔. 준비됐습니까, 여러분? 시작합시다. Okay, I have already deboxed Mr. I don't know what he's called, you guys. Fashionista 167, aka the wheelchair Ken. This is the back of his box. Obviously, he's this one. And then we have Señorita and Señorita in their own wheelchairs that also come with Made to Move bodies. If you're looking for donors, I highly recommend this particular line because not only are you getting the body, but you also get a pretty decent head sculpt if you want to keep the heads for other dolls, and some halfway decent fashions compared to the rest of this lot. Don't ask me why, y'all gonna have to ask Mattel, but does it make any sense that the guys in the wheelchairs have complete mobility in their limbs, and then everybody else who can walk and stand are stiff bodied? Like, how does that even make any sense? Come on, guys, come on. Mattel is doing the most, you guys. There are so many things about Mattel that really don't make any sense, and we just put up with it because we're like, well. All right, so we've got homie here. I'm gonna have to pull his head off, of course, and basically what I'm trying to do is match him with this guy's head. This is gonna be the new daddy for Daddy and Davy show on our channel. I know you guys are like, when are you guys gonna do your skits? Guys, we haven't forgotten about it, all right? Everything has to happen in its own time, but we're getting prepped for all of that. So in the preparation process, I thought that I was gonna be clever and put him on an articulated body. This is the Star Trek Captain Kirk body, and obviously look at his face. He looks like he got a straight up suntan, and then everything else is just pale in comparison. Another dude that I need to do is this one, my Jacob from Twilight series, I think. And I like him a lot better than the other guy, whatever his name is, the vampire dude. This is the werewolf guy. I never seen that movie, and I have no intention of doing so. I don't care about their characters at all. I just thought that the actor who he's supposed to be resembling is a good looking guy. The head sculpt looked very close, not quite, but it's very close to the way that guy looks. So I'm okay with that, and his skin tone is kind of like a tannish kind of a color, so I thought he could be a good ethnic guy, and that's what I had gotten him for. But however, he is on this ridiculous body This is one of those Descendants dolls. Remember those guys? Yeah. He is on a Descendants doll's body, and for some reason, just something about it just doesn't quite fit him. Like, this is how he looks. The whole body, and I don't know why. I really don't know what it is. The doll whose head was originally on that body, it was massive. Like, his head was massive. So compared to him, my Barbie doll Ken has a smaller head size, and you would think it would fit better on this little slim kind of body, but I don't know what it is. Something don't look right to me. I just cannot feel him like at all. Even when he's dressed, something about it just don't look right to me. So I gotta change his head because it's just been bothering me ever since I put it on here. But this is the best that I could do at the time. So I don't have the patience to heat the head, but I highly recommend that you do. At this stage, I used to be kind of afraid that I was gonna pop off the knob on the inside if I wasn't careful enough. But now that I figured out how to fix that issue completely, I'm not even worried about that no more. So I'm just gonna try to do this on camera, even though I normally don't, because it never comes out quite right. But anyways, ooh, that was very easy. Okay, cool. That was very easy. His head was very flexible, and this knob didn't take up a whole lot of space, so that's good. And then this is the hole on the inside. This face is actually very similar to the head sculpt that we use for Daddy and Davy character, which I have been trying to find a replacement for Daddy for the longest, because the original head that I had, there's some kind of damage to the actual hole in his neck from, I don't know what from, like, I don't know if my daughter maybe got a hold of him when she was little and she did something to him, although I don't think so, because she knows better than to mess with my dolls. It could have been other kids that were over at our house that maybe got their hands on him and I didn't see them doing it. I don't know what it was, who it was, but somebody did something, because it wasn't me. All right, now we're just gonna, popping the head on is the easy part. You don't need to heat and all of that stuff. You just gotta push, 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 twist, turn. This was so not painstaking, very easy. Oh, that's it. 1, 2, 3, we're done. Okay, that was simple. Before we inspect him properly, I'm gonna go ahead and get this guy's done too, just because I can't stand to look at him like this, you guys. It's so bothersome. I think it's easier to remove the male dolls' heads from the bodies than the female dolls sometimes, because they get so just intricate with it sometimes, depending on what kind of doll you're messing with. Yo, you know what? I just realized this doll's body on the inside is different. Take a look at this neck joint here. This is very different from the Barbie doll bodies, because the Barbie body, see, it has this huge opening in the neck, and you can actually see the mechanism that's on the inside where it's like connected. Whereas with this one, even though it's probably the exact same thing on the inside, you can't really get to it. You can't see because the hole is tiny. That's, you know, connecting this part to the inside. So my method that I came up with for how to fix this, it wouldn't work on this type of a body. I'm just realizing that not all of them are the same. So my method will only work for Barbie dolls that have this kind of big opening where you can actually get to the inside part here. Okay, that's good to know. But I did pull his head off with no problems, and I'm gonna need to unbox him in order to put the head on the body, of course. So the cool thing about these dolls is that they come with the wheelchairs, of course. And the wheelchair itself kind of almost makes it worth it just to get it, because when do you come across wheelchairs for Barbie dolls like that? This is not the first time that Barbie has done wheelchairs for their dolls, but it's just very like sporadic when they do this. It's like every decade maybe they make one doll that comes with a wheelchair, and this one actually has a ramp that it comes with, so that's pretty cool too. I just wish they had put handlebars on here so that we can pose some of the dolls actually like pushing the wheelchair, because not everybody can wheel themselves in their chairs. It just depends on why you ended up in the wheelchair, you feel me? The more realism I can get, the better for me, okay? But anyways, those of you who are like, what I need a wheelchair for? All my dolls can walk. Okay, I get it, but like there are times when you need a wheelchair just to make something more realistic looking. Like for example, some of y'all love staging your dolls. When you leave the hospital with your baby, they always wheel you out in a wheelchair. You don't just walk out of the hospital with your baby. Like most new moms are gonna be wheeled out in the chair with the baby in their arms, and they, like the people who work for the hospital, they wanna make sure you get into a car with a car seat and all of that stuff, or they calling them peoples on you. So, so it's very common to see people who can walk and move around being wheeled into their vehicles when they leave the hospital. Plenty of different reasons. If you get sick at school and you get sent down to the nurse's office, if you have an injury or some type of sickness that prevents you from walking, sometimes the school nurse will put you in a wheelchair and like wheel you out of the building when your parents come to get you or whatever. So there's many reasons why you may need a wheelchair without it being because someone is like permanently just stuck in a chair. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you guys, don't laugh. I know some of you guys are new here and you have no idea what we're even talking about when we're talking about Daddy and Davy, okay? Daddy and Davy is a parody that Adonis came up with of the Mommy and Gracie show. Remember when Gracie was younger and every time her mom would be like vlogging with her, like, she was so like hyped, like she wouldn't sit still. She was always like doing something. Or the actual Gracie, the girl on that channel, I think she has ADHD or something like that. So that's part of the reason why she's so hyped. But if you don't know that about her and you're just watching it, you're like, is she gonna sit still? Like you get kind of distracted because you're like, oh my gosh, she's so hyped. And her mom is completely like almost oblivious to it because she's used to her. You know what I'm saying? We'd be like, she's doing cartwheels in the background and her mom doesn't even notice. Like we just thought it was hilarious, right? But that was the charm of the Mommy and Gracie show, is that when she was younger and she was actually on the show with her mom, that was kind of the fun of it, like watching her kind of bug out, you know? Adonis was just like, that's hilarious. I'm gonna make a character based on them. So that's where Daddy and Davy actually came from. Davy is kind of hype, but Daddy is more the crazy one. But that's what Daddy is. So if you're watching this, you're like, what the hell is she talking about? That's what we're talking about. Style is just very flamboyant and out there because he don't care. He do not care what nobody think about him. He do not care. That's basically what that was. Now I'm looking at this head sculpt that originally came with this doll, and like I said before, our daddy from Daddy and Davy is actually a Ken doll that we used for the character. But that particular Ken, I can't even remember which Ken he was. If some of you guys go back and watch our old episodes with Daddy on it, if you recognize that Ken's face sculpt specifically, like tell me where you know that Ken from, because I can't remember. This Ken actually reminds me a lot of that one, but every time I would compare his head to other Ken dolls, it wasn't right. Very, very similar to the point where you could probably say this is the same sculpt. However, as I'm looking at them, I see some differences that stand out to me. For example, the lines around the mouth, they're a little more pronounced on this guy here compared to him. I don't know if you guys can tell, but in person, to me, I can see that there is a little bit more definition in the lines in his face, and the shape of the lips seem just a slightly different shape. It's so subtle that it's almost unnoticeable to me. I see differences. I see the way that the nose is shaped is a little different. His nose looks pointier and his is more round at the tip. So I don't think these guys are the same sculpt. I chose this head sculpt for Daddy because I felt like if Daddy was gonna go through the process of getting plastic surgery, then he wouldn't look exactly the same. He would look slightly different, and the long hair, like the whole thing, I just felt like it's giving me a lot of Daddy vibes because he could style the hair and do different things with his hair that he couldn't do when he had molded hair. And I just feel like Daddy was very out there and he would so do that. And like, I needed a good replacement head for him that I would feel satisfied with. The only thing about it though is that if I didn't have this character that we are basically gonna revive, I probably would have just styled him like a regular heterosexual male because he's so good looking. This head sculpt, he's very handsome. Even though he's got long hair, I mean, so what? Straight guys have long hair. So if you guys are contemplating whether or not to get this doll, this Fashionista doll, I recommend him because I think he's really good looking. His face actually reminds me a lot. Okay, so the black Ken with the rooted hair, who is coming soon. I've been seeing some of these dolls. I saw 2 of them in my local Walmart. They don't have all of them. Just 2 girls, and neither of them was I interested in. But yeah, this guy with the rooted hair, tell me he don't look just like this Ken. He looks just like him to me. I feel like they look really similar. And he's super good looking, so I don't know. I really like this sculpt a lot better than the regular Ken head, so I'm with it. I think that both of these guys look good on this body. The skin tone matches are very, very close. Not 100% now. I still feel like his face is a little darker than the body is, but it's hard to tell in this lighting, and you really can't tell in the pictures. So that's really all I care about, because all I do with my dolls is display them and for the most part take pictures of them and film them for shows. So as long as it looks good on camera, I'm not that worried about it. Yeah, so Daddy is now complete, other than I do still need to do some tweaks to him. I need to give him like a little makeover. He needs some makeup added and some other things. So I don't know if I'm gonna do that on camera or I'm just gonna do it on my own time, whatever. You guys tell me in the comments if you want to watch me sprucing him up into our like finished Daddy character. But my Daddy, the original Daddy, I did do some things to him. I customized him to make him more the way I wanted him to look, because I really like, he's very flamboyant and I want that to be noticeable even without having him all dressed up like in crazy colors and stuff. And the shirt that he's wearing, this is the original shirt that this doll came with, and my son just put this graphic on the side of it that says FLY in Greek lettering, fly. The Jacob guy over here, I put him on this new body and I think he looks a lot better than he did on that little scrawny body that he had. Maybe that's what it is. His face, like that nose, he just looks like he would be kind of brolic and like have muscles, and just that skinny scrawny body was not doing it for him. The skin tone's not 100% a match. I'm sure you can tell here between the head and the neck there's a slight difference, but that body he was on previously was also not 100% match. So he's a little bit tricky because he's like tan, but he's also kind of brown at the same time. So I don't know what body to put him on really that will match good for him. He's too light skinned for the BMR with the green hair, so I'm not gonna even go there. But this is close enough. I'm not gonna complain about this level of skin tone match. He's actually borrowing MC Smack 'em Up shirts. Stop coming in this room. I'm trying to, yo mama. And it says Slick and Gordy on it, and then Genu basically drew Rick and Morty, but as like Run DMC style hip hop artists, and they have brown skin instead of white skin. So that's what this is, Slick and Gordy. And that graphic is actually a custom that Adonis specifically wanted for Genu to make for him, and he actually has a face mask that he wears with this same graphic on it that Adonis wears around town. So like I thought it would be cute to have it for MC Smack 'em Up. I want to share one little thing with you guys. Somebody asked me how I keep track of my dolls' names. I'm making a separate video. The answer is really that it's kind of difficult to do once you get a certain quantity of dolls. It's very, very hard to do. I basically have been printing these tags with all of the names of my dolls on them, and I use my label maker that I got this from Walmart some time ago, and I just printed them up on there. I used 2 rows so I could have one name on top, one name on the bottom, and then I basically just cut them down to size, peel them off. There's adhesive on the back of the stickers, on the back of the labels, like this one right here. It says Daddy, and then I'm just gonna peel off the backing here and take the label and attach it to the back of my doll. I've been putting them on their backs, or like maybe some of them on their butt, because you're not really gonna see that. But this label is made so that it's removable. It's sticky enough to stay put, but the adhesive isn't so sticky that it leaves a residue when you remove it. So you can just peel it right off whenever you want. If you do body swaps or whatever, then you can peel it off and put it on the next doll. I just hide it under their clothes. And this way, I'm actually in the process of doing this for all of my dolls that have names. And then I'm going to go ahead and give names to the dolls that I've been waiting to name, because I don't want to have any more names to remember. So I've just been putting it off, y'all. So this is what I'm going to do for all of them. And I've been actually thinking about doing this for the longest, like for so long. And I just have so many projects and things that I need to prioritize that I haven't actually got started doing it until now. So I have a bunch of labels that I need to cut up, which is going to be a tedious process, but this is all the different names that I've already done. And then I'll be going through my stash and labeling all of the dolls, so that way I don't get them mixed up and I don't forget the names. And I thought I would share that with you guys, a little hack to keep track of your dolls, because some of you guys got more dolls than I do. More dolls than I do, especially the ones that don't get rebodied. Like, y'all have tons of dolls, and I know that it's difficult to keep track of the names, which is why I'm always getting this question from people. But that's my little solution for how to deal with that. I recommend doing it with the labels, because everything is very uniform, the same size, and you can kind of make it look very professional and neat so that it's not just a hot mess. And you don't want something that's going to be so thick that it's taking up a lot of space on your doll, because it will get caught on the clothes when you're trying to redress them, and it'll just become really annoying and create clutter and mess later on. So that's why I'm doing it this way. I recently found this drawer, this organizer thing at Walmart. I know some of you guys shop at Walmart, but you don't bother going to the men's section, like what typically men are looking at, like hardware, sporting goods. You guys don't really go over to that area because as women, we don't really have a reason to go over there. But sometimes that's where they have better deals for stuff that they sell to us women for like a higher price with less functionality, just because it's cuter looking. So this box was $12. It has 30 drawers, and they have a lock system so that you can't just open it up by accident. You have to be deliberately trying to open it by opening it a certain way. So they have that, and I'm able to fit all of my little knickknacks in here that just get in the way, like shoes, hair bands, headphones, elastic bands for the hair. And what I'll do is, because these are clear, you can actually see through them, but I'm going to go a step further and label each one so that I know exactly what's in those. That's going to help me to organize all of my little doll things, especially while I'm here in Washington, this tiny little apartment where I really don't have a lot of space to work with. I'm not exaggerating, you guys. I really have no space here. So it's a wonder I even have as many dolls out as I do, but it's forcing me to have to be very creative about how I'm storing things and how I'm displaying things. But I'll share some other more in-depth tips like that with you guys in upcoming videos. Just wanted to give you a little sneaky peeky so you would know kind of what we have coming. And those of you who are loyal, avid watchers of our channel, I know you guys are hearing me say, like, repeat a lot of the same things in my latest videos, but that's only because we have so many new people that are discovering us that I kind of have to say the same thing every time just to make sure that people are getting the right information. All right, that's it for today. And I hope you guys had fun hanging out with us over here while we're doing our little doll thing. Don't forget to check out our merch shop featuring wonderful designs like the ones that these guys are wearing. Our Dollyverse members can be united wherever we are. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next one. My name is Gypsy, and this is Broken Dolly TV. Adios. Have a dolly day.